was like, I got a comment. Oh my God, I got a comment. That one video just exploded my channel. 1,000 YouTube subscribers to me is way more exciting than 1,000 Instagram followers. Never recap what you said. It's the second you say, and number 5 is drop off.
You just heard 4 moments from today's conversation with Alex Cattoni. 1 comment, 1 video, now 400,000 plus subscribers later. See, Alex is the founder of Copy Posse and one of the most successful YouTube channels in our space, and it's all been done organically. Today, we're talking about her exact content strategy, the mistake that's been killing my retention, and an AI trick that changed how I create everything. It's a great episode. Let's go. Alex, thank you so much for joining us.
I'm so happy to be here.
We have been connected because we've been in the same mastermind, and it's been fun to watch the way in which you have shown up and served your audience. But you do a whole bunch of things that I want to highlight in this episode, because one of them is you leverage content in such an effective way. And we were just talking off camera. I was like, how long have you had your YouTube channel? And you were saying you started it back in February of 2019.
Yep.
And why did you start this channel?
Yeah, so before February 2019, I'd never created a single piece of content for myself.
Because you were behind the scenes.
Completely behind the scenes. I would craft offers, write sales pages, email campaigns, plan launches, and had done that for almost 10 years.
Wow.
And I loved it. But by the time 2019 rolled around, I was feeling a little jaded by the whole marketing world. I think I found it interesting how there was a disconnect between a lot of the things that people were doing and saying in front of the camera and what people were doing and saying behind the camera. And I really felt this divide happening in the industry where, as someone who came from personal development, especially seeing a lot of people who were truly walking the talk and creating products and services that genuinely helped people and really believed in what they were doing. And then on the other side, there were people that were just sort of opportunists who saw a hole in the market, really didn't give a crap about what they were creating, and would create it. And so I saw this divide between really the promoters or the people who were good at marketing, and then the subject matter experts who loved what they did but didn't know marketing.
Interesting.
And I was like, there has got to be someone here that can bridge the gap, because I love serving the subject matter experts and the people who live and breathe what they do. And I want to help them get their message out to the masses and help more people. When I started my YouTube channel, I really had intended it to be a conversation to those people, those business owners that maybe couldn't afford to hire a copywriter like me or a fractional CMO, but really wanted to learn marketing to get the word out and to connect with their customers. And that's really how it started. I thought maybe I would get a client or 2 out of it. I didn't have a monetization strategy.
I was going to say, my guess is you had this big elaborate plan.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It was, I think, when I felt a calling to speak up. When you see something happening in your mind, you're like, someone should say something about this. So that it's like, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the one. The other thing was I would go onto YouTube and I would type in copywriting, and it was just so owned by men, godfathers of online marketing I learned from. They're absolutely brilliant. I read the books, I took the courses, I did all of it. But women were just not represented at all on YouTube. Like, women were creating videos on blogging or social media, but I was a direct response copywriter and had been at that point for over 10 years.
Right.
And I thought, I want to be able to talk about hard-hitting sales strategies, but also blend in the brand storytelling, which was really something I learned at Mindvalley. I was talking to someone the other day where I was like, man, Mindvalley was really on the leading edge of not just direct response marketing, but branding as well. Being able to incorporate the voices and the personalities and even the visuals of a beautiful brand identity into an online business at a time when people were just like, you'd go to an event and someone would be like, what's your offer? Yeah. It was never like, what do you do and who do you serve? It was like, what's your offer and how do you make money,
And it was typically like, when we think of old school direct response, it's very ugly. It's like only
white, red.
Yeah, exactly. Yellow highlight.
Yellow highlight arrows. Yeah, exactly.
And then to your point, like, there's this opportunity of being able to take, direct response, fundamentals, but blend them with beauty, and they can still be as effective, many times even more effective.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think so. And when I started my YouTube channel, like I said, I started it under my personal brand, Alex Cattoni, which I'm very happy I did. At a time, I was thinking about changing the name to Copy Posse, which is my brand, but I started it under my personal brand. And then, I don't know, 6, 7 videos in, someone left a little comment on a video. I was like, I got a comment. Oh my God, I got a comment. That was like, wait, let me get this straight. You know, you work from home, you write for brands and businesses that you love, and you make money doing it. Can you do a video on that? You know, and I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. And I did a video on how to become a freelance copywriter. That one video just exploded my channel.
No way.
And I realized just how many people out there were wanting to learn a skill, which I always quote you, by the way, because you're like, copywriting is like the gateway drug to entrepreneurship. I'm like, it's so true. If I could, you know, go back in time and if people said to me, like, if I want to start a business, what should I do? The first thing I would say is learn the power of persuasion and copywriting and marketing and messaging. Whether you do that for other people or you do it for other people first and then you learn the skill and then you do it for yourself, it really is
what it gets overlaid in every area of business.
Every single area.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that a lot of people kind of miss now because they think, for example, like, oh, but ChatGPT writes copy. And it's like, well, it generates words. Like, let's be clear. It generates words. And that is extremely helpful in business. But copywriting in the way that I teach it and the way that I always have believed it to be is so much more about the power of persuasion and connection.
Well, I want to definitely go there.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that. First, I just want to kind of put a bow on this YouTube journey because now your YouTube channel is an incredible way in which you are reaching people, generating leads, and delivering value and bringing people into your world. And I'm wondering if you can kind of unpack that because over this journey, like you have become tremendously talented as it relates to copy and YouTube, but you don't talk about YouTube a lot. So I'm, kind of secretly like, oh, okay, let's get in the mind of Alex. How does she break it all down? So how do you think about your YouTube channel now?
Oh, I love that question. I am obsessed with YouTube. And
why though?
The reason for that is it is a predictable platform with incredible analytics, with followers and subscribers who want more of you and will watch you for, we talked about keeping attention for 7 seconds is really exciting on short form content, who will watch you for maybe hours.
Wow.
And that is why I think it's such a powerful platform for lead generation. I was saying to you before we started recording that I'm now starting to invest more in paid media and ads, but I have been an organic content girly since I started my YouTube channel. And the value of the lead that you get from someone on YouTube is so infinitely higher than someone who maybe found you through an ad or through short form. And it's because most of the time they're watching one video, then they're maybe watching another, then they're watching another before they decide to opt in. And you see someone speak for minutes online and you feel like you know them, you feel like you're friends with them, you feel like, I listen to podcast episodes where I'm like, we're such friends. And I'm like, oh my God, they would have no idea who I am. But I feel like they're a friend, And so I just think it's a really powerful platform. And it's, like I said, it's predictable. So Instagram's great. I'm a millennial. That's where I like to hang out. That's where I DM my friends. That's where I like to connect and start conversations with my audience more than any other platform, although I love LinkedIn as well. Instagram is where I like to have conversations. But I feel like every time you create a piece of content on Instagram, you're like, is this going to go anywhere? What's going to happen? Yeah. And if it does go somewhere, great. But then it's done.
It's gone.
24, 48, 36, maybe 3 or 4 days later, you're still getting some views, but it drops off a cliff. Whereas YouTube, I have videos. I was looking at my analytics last week. I have a video that I recorded maybe in 2021 or 2022 that is among my highest viewed videos of the last 28 days.
What?
Yeah. And you're like, oh, and it's funny because you're like, oh, sometimes it's nice when old content disappears because I'm looking at it. I'm like, my hair, I hate that way that I look at that video. But the way I treat YouTube is every video I create, I am building my body of work that has the ability to be discovered by my ideal client now, tomorrow, in a week, in 4 years. And I think that is the power of the platform, is that it's not just a flash in the pan, let me try to get as much views as I can. It's let me put something out there that if it doesn't pop right away, I'm not stressed about it because I'm really proud of the video I created, and maybe one day it'll pop, maybe it won't. But personally, I just think that's how you build real trust with your audience.
What I hear you saying, YouTube is a long game.
Yes.
And can pay off in the short term, but it has much more probability to continue to pay off in the long term.
Yeah.
How do you think about the content that you're creating for YouTube? Like, what's your, when you're thinking about, okay, what am I going to publish and what's your frequency? Like, get into some of the nitty gritty of that. Like, how are you thinking about that?
So I publish 1 video a week. I have been told by YouTube experts that I should go to 2 videos a week. I think like with anything, you have to pick a cadence that is sustainable. My content creation process is 1 a week for now because it feels sustainable. It's very processed out.
Do you think sustainability is the most important thing, like that consistency?
I think so. I mean, it took me, and I share this very candidly, like it took me 6 months of producing a video every single week before I hit 1,000 subscribers. But those are 1,000 people who were watching my videos and decided they wanted to learn more. 1,000 YouTube subscribers to me is way more exciting than 1,000 Instagram followers.
Interesting.
And
you know, and just for people watching and listening, like who are maybe in the early stages of growing their YouTube channel, to hear it took you 6 months to get to 1,000, they may be like, oh my gosh, like that feels like a slog. But now here you are, hundreds of thousands of subscribers later.
Exactly.
Totally different ballgame.
And let's not forget, like YouTube pays its creators well. Like I make thousands of dollars every single month just from YouTube.
Right.
That's not considering when you know anything about creating memberships or programs and actually monetizing your audience with your own content. It's like double whammy. It's like I'm going to get high value leads that feel like they know me already, and then I'm going to make them an offer.
Is this real?
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, Alex is about to share her exact content strategy. This is the stuff that she uses to grow her channel. And if you're listening to this while you're driving or working out, don't stress about taking notes because I've got everything from today in a free resource kit. It's all linked in the description. So just enjoy the conversation and grab the details later.
The first is I think of the videos I create as where they fall in a marketing funnel. So top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. I think a lot of times when people are wanting to grow YouTube channels, they think I need to go super broad, super beginner, super basic, touch the masses and get them in. And that is true for growth. However, you also want to make sure that when people are deciding to follow you, that you're not only sharing super basic, super broad topics, or they're going to be like, why would I have any reason to come back? So a perfect example in my world is a very top of funnel topic might be 5 ways to make money online. So in my world, like talking about copywriting is very middle of the funnel. It's very people who've already decided I want to become a better copywriter or I want to learn how to improve my marketing or messaging. So using words like funnel, copywriting, marketing, digital marketing, that sort of stuff is very, very middle of the funnel. But top of the funnel is those, what I call those like go fishing videos. People come in with those videos, but I can tell you that my existing audience is not going to be too impressed if I did every week a video where I'm talking about all the different side hustles you could start because they're already like committed, they're in, or they know that I teach marketing and messaging.
It's really interesting though to hear you break that down. Top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom of funnel. And what I hear is like top of funnel is as wide as you can go. You're trying to reach as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Middle of funnel is now you're trying to be helpful to those who have expressed interest. And bottom of the funnel is you're trying to deepen the relationship with those subscribers.
100%.
And I've never thought of it. I've never broken it down that way. I've always just thought of like creating content, you know, that I'm hoping will be relevant for the audience. But hearing you break that down, it makes sense. Like you want a mix of like top of funnel, broad reach, middle of funnel, helpful, bottom funnel relationship. So is it an even mix? How do you...
Yeah, it's about an even mix. I would say the most amount of our videos fall in the middle of the funnel category. They're quite tactical, very how-to. So I would say that's probably 60-70% of our videos. And then occasionally we'll do a top of funnel. And it's weighted a little differently when, for example, in the months leading up to our launch in January, where it is more of a top of funnel offer, we'll prime a little bit more with those top of funnel topics to try to get people in.
How far out are you planning your schedule?
About a quarter.
Okay.
About 3 months out. And then we sort of finalize within maybe 30 to 60 days within there.
And so you're overlaying that with your marketing calendar for the
Yes.
promotions that you have coming up.
100%. So what my team does is they will look at our marketing calendar and kind of see the cadence of what we're planning to promote. And so that's one way that we plug in topics. You know, if we're going to be doing a promotion around email marketing, we'll do a couple email marketing videos leading up to that as a way to sort of fill the bucket of people who we know are interested in email marketing. If it's more about starting a side hustle, we will do sort of those top of funnel videos leading up to it. Another way that we plan our calendar is just based on really relevant top of mind conversations. So you know, AI is a big one right now. We'll do videos on that because it's so hyper relevant and we know that that's likely to get a lot of views. Other times we'll try to piggyback on trending topics. Like if there's a market, like the Barbie movie, when it came out, it was like a marketing case study, you know, and people always get really fired up about that. Like I did a video about Taylor Swift's launch, like ticket launch strategy. And the way people are polarized about Taylor Swift, I mean, I had no idea. I'm not really a Swiftie, but I was like, oh, dang, there's a lot of people who don't like her. But it's good. It's polarizing and people like those trending
And it starts
topics.
conversation. Yeah, it's interesting. I have my finger on the pulse of the Taylor Swift, community because my daughter, Marla, was a big Swiftie. But then, interestingly enough, she started high school and a Taylor Swift song came on and I was like, bopping with her. She's like, Dad, Taylor Swift's out. Cringe now. I was like, oh, like when did this happen? You got
too popular.
Yeah, too popular.
Yeah, that's funny.
But it's really interesting to hear your ideas there, where you're taking popular culture, you're entering the conversation that's happening in the marketplace anyway, and then you're overlaying like how that's relevant for the audience that you're trying to attract and what you're trying to teach.
Yeah.
And so you're planning these things out usually a quarter in advance. They're overlapping on your marketing promotions. How are you doing the actual production of the videos? Are they scripted? Talk to me about that process.
Yeah. The process is quite involved. A lot of people ask me about that because I think one of my hidden skills is reading a teleprompter really authentically. Like it took years of practice. Nobody thinks that it's scripted. It is. It's 100% scripted.
And then how long are your videos typically?
Usually on average, like 8 to 13 minutes.
Okay.
I would say probably 9 to 10 is probably the sweet spot that we just naturally, our videos are that long. The really important thing too, and I get asked this a lot, is how often are you sending people off the video, like dropping a CTA? Our rule of thumb is if there's something we have, like a lead magnet or a mini course that is so highly related, where it's like, it's actually stupid if we don't mention this because it's exactly what they want, we will mention the CTA, click the link, QR code. But if there's not, we don't, because YouTube wants to keep people on the platform.
Do you ever refer other videos?
All the time. So at the end of every video, and this is a really important tip, never recap what you said. I know that's really powerful on, trainings and stages and things like that. But because YouTube is grading your videos based on retention, once they get that, if you say there's 5 tips in the video, literally you'll see it in the metrics. The second you say, and number 5 is drop off. It's like they get what they want, right?
Interesting.
Of course, you can play around with different ways to open a loop. Because there's always someone in the comments that's like, here, everybody, I saved you time. Here's tip number 1, tip number 2. So now what we do is we put the tips and the timestamps in the description because we're like, listen, there's always going to be the person who tries to gamify it and like just get the 5 things. But by the way, we also publish it on our blog. So if you're one of those people, you could actually just go get the transcript or on our LinkedIn. But a lot of people want to listen and they want to learn and they want to see the screenshots. And so being able to bring that in early to say, and I'm going to show you a screenshot that like, so that they're like, oh, I have to see it. I can't just read someone's comment. I really want to see what this looks like. Get to the end. Do not recap. But what we will always do at the end now is say, and if you want to learn how to, so we actually do a hook at the end of the video. And then I say, and we will link to that video next. And then on the end screen, we link to that next video.
And then you're out.
And then it's like, peace. I say like, I'll be back next week. Ciao for now. Like I'm out. Yeah.
There are so many things that you just dropped there that are incredible. I'm sitting here listening and I'm keep looking over to Kyle, our producer. I'm like,
I love it. Yes, he's taking notes.
Yeah,
okay,
he's taking notes. I'm like, thank goodness, because so many things from what you said, I'm doing wrong. I have grown up as a presenter
I know. I thought of you.
Knowing that the whole time I have like, in my mind, one of my early mentors who said, tell them what you're going to tell them, and tell them what you told them.
And I refer to that all the time on stage presentations.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. But you're so right. Like with content, they do. Once they get the payoff, they're out. And I see it in short form content. And what I hear you saying is the same in long form content.
Yeah.
And you can't mess around because the platform, YouTube, Instagram, wherever you're publishing the content, they are showing you like as soon as somebody gets the payoff, they're leaving and they're measuring the success of your video based on retention. So if people leave and you still got like time afterwards, they're like, oh, people aren't staying to the end. This video isn't as good. But if they stay to the end and then they get the payoff and they're gone and your video is done, they're like, people love this. They're watching all the way to the end. Let's push it more.
Exactly.
Man, so many juicy nuggets. I'm Kyle. Kudos for taking notes behind the scenes.
And the end screen is really important too. I think it's important to, when you get to the end of the video, YouTube gives you a bit of time to show. And so I have a little video at the end that's like, hey guys, if you like that video, you definitely want to check out this video next. And it links to the video I had just mentioned.
Is that attached to all videos?
Yes.
Interesting.
But the video I point to is an overlaid card.
So that doesn't count for retention. Or does it?
It technically does because it is. That's why it's short. It's like, hey guys, if you like this video, check out this video next. But if it helps more people click through, like that's a huge metric that YouTube looks at. Because if you're keeping them on the platform and they're going from one video to the next video of yours, and you want them to do that too, because what happens when they stay on the video? Oftentimes they're looking in the watch next. It's on the sidebar, which isn't your videos.
Right.
Or it's just automatically going to another video that isn't your video.
You know what's interesting? I'm thinking about my own behavior. There's this YouTube channel that I watch. I'm a big NBA fan. So I watch this one guy and he has great videos. And then I'm just thinking about like, I will go down a rabbit hole watching his videos because he'll end it with an open loop for like the next thing. And I'm like, oh. And then I end up watching another one. And then every video has an open loop. I'm like, how does he do that? Because they're all daisy chained together. Like, is he like producing them all at once? I don't know, but doesn't matter. The strategy is becoming apparent to me is that the end of the video is so important.
Yeah.
How you end so that you're giving the payoff, you're ending right on time, and then keeping them on platform or getting to or opening the loop to the next thing.
Exactly. And once you get a good body of videos out there, there's definitely one you can link to. And oftentimes I like to link, if it's a video on email marketing, I'll link to another email marketing video because people want more of the same, but I'll make sure to link to one that's performing a little bit better, or, you can start kind of picking and choosing. When it's your second video, you're like, oh, there's only one video that you can watch, but still send them there. The more you go, the easier it is because you have more to choose from.
This was amazing. So many great tactical things. I'm like really excited.
And I don't teach this anywhere. So
I know.
This is like exclusive content.
This is juicy. This is real juicy. As we wrap up, what advice do you have for people when it comes to leveraging a platform like YouTube to be able to grow their business? What I hear is so much intention around how this platform helps support what I'm doing over here with my courses, my memberships, my masterminds, etc. What advice would you have for people to make sure that what they're creating is leading to the thing?
Such a good question. I think it really comes down to sort of reverse engineering what it is that you do. Like first asking yourself, like, what is the point of my platform? I think a lot of people think it's to get to those huge numbers. But if you don't have a one to many, many, many type of business where you're selling, let's say, courses or something like that, and maybe you offer one-to-one services, I think a lot of times people think, well, then YouTube's not for me because I only offer services or I only do like high-level coaching. I have seen more and more people these days really crush it on YouTube with high ticket, direct to high ticket. And if that's not telling you something about the quality of the viewer, then I don't know what is. It's like, I have courses. And so my strategy is, okay, I'm going to do lead generation or get low ticket sales, get people into my world. And then I'm going to nurture them over time through email marketing. And so they join my course or my membership or my mastermind. But I have mastermind members who go, YouTube direct into an application form for either a group coaching program, a high ticket group coaching program, or some sort of a hybrid coaching scenario. And I just think it's so cool. So the first question is just really looking like if you could focus on scaling one offer or one product or one thing that you do, whether it's a membership or a program or, coaching, and then reverse engineer that and really think through, who is the one person who's your ideal client and what are the 5 steps that they had to take to get to being ready to purchase from you. And that should be the path of the content you create with the top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. So that you're kind of breadcrumbing the journey for all of your future customers.
I am just happy as a pig in mud. This was everything I hoped it would be and more. Thank you so much. Where can people go to connect with you?
So I am Alex Cattoni on YouTube and Instagram, and then I'm the founder of Copy Posse. So copyposse.com is where I have all of my courses and all the information about me and my business.
That was a home run.
Yay!
Thank you so much, buddy. That was Alex Cattoni. And if you've been ending videos with a recap, stop. If you're not thinking about YouTube as a long game, start and hit subscribe if this helped, because we got new episodes coming every week. And if you want to check out Alex's work, well, I put together a free resource kit with all the links, show notes, and her strategy for creating content that actually grows your channel. Just scan the QR code or grab the link in the description. And next week, we got Jay Papasan. He's the co-author of the book, The One Thing. Over 4 million copies have sold. And we're talking about how these books have sold millions and millions of copies and what that means for your content. You don't want to miss it. I'll see you next time.